Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Good morning and thanks for joining us on the morning news. We're transmitting live from our studios on the John Evans at Mills High Street here in Accra. AM News is proudly sponsored by Adoatv Roofing Sheet and Cookware. Adoatv, sheltering you for life. Migo purified drinking water. Migo, your preferred way of staying hydrated, as well as Blue City ties and accessories. My name is Na Otinkrama Ankra. Be generous. You will be dealt with if you exploit tenants. Housing Minister warns landlords. COVID-19 updates. Ghana's total count rises. We'll be bringing you details of these stories and many more, as well as some business and entertainment. Please do stay with us. First story, Works and Housing Minister Samuel Atachia has warned landlords against exploiting the COVID-19 situation to encumber their tenants with extortionist rates or evict them in ways that fall foul of the law, adding that such deviance would be dealt with by the law. Speaking at a press briefing on Tuesday, 28 April 2020, organized by the Ministry of Information, Mr. Atachia said, "We are being admonished to stay at home as much as possible, and even with the lifting of the lockdown, you have to stay at home. But if where you are staying is having challenges because of the bad behavior of a landlord or landlady, for that matter, it will be extremely un-Ghanaian."
That was your Elizabeth. When your rent is in arrears for 1 month, you can be evicted. That's what the law says. A conduct which is a nuisance or annoyance or adjoining occupiers could be a good reason for your eviction. Using the premises that you have leased for immoral or illegal purposes. Giving a written notice to vacate the premises. The landlord also reasonably needs the premises for his own use or that of his family or any other person in his whole-time employment. And when we use the word haste, and our agenda sensitive, it means the landlady, where the lease has expired under Section 36 of the Act above and will become a statutory tenant. When the tenancy is tied to an employment and the employment ceases, these are the scenarios that could bring about eviction. In all these circumstances, the law does not encourage self-help. But one's recourse is a district court or a court of competent jurisdiction. May I also remind you that the landlord may face criminal prosecution if he does any of the following to the tenant. A, fraud under Section 443 of the Conveyancing Act 1973 is occasion when the landlord falsifies title to the purported lease premises or refuses to divulge any encumbrance material to the title. A conviction could be a fine and an imprisonment not exceeding 2 years or both. B, rent advance exceeding 6 months could land you in jail of a maximum term of 2 years, a fine or both. Section 25(5) of the rent law as cited. This stipulates that monthly and shorter tenancies should not exceed more than a month's rent. Under Section 27 of the law, inducing a tenant to quit is a criminal offense. For example, trying to remove the windows so that because of the inconvenience, the tenant will be compelled to leave the place. Refusing to issue a rent card is also a criminal offense. punishable by a fine or imprisonment not exceeding.
Still on COVID-19, the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Abuaji, has disclosed that Ghana's COVID-19 cases have seen an increase of about 100 cases, arriving at a total of 1,671. Out of this, general surveillance resulted at 568, with 105 from those quarantined in Tamale, and finally 1,113 as a result of enhanced tracing. He further explained the number of recoveries have also increased to 1,118, with 5 new deaths. He said this at press briefing organized by the Ministry of Information yesterday.
Honorable Minister of Health, Honorable Minister of Housing, and Honorable Minister of Information, and all other protocols observed. My job is very simple, just give our status as far as the cases are concerned. As of this morning, the final count that we have is that we have 1,171 cases. This 563 has come from general surveillance. It is those who fall ill and approach the hospital and they are tested. 105 still remains part of the earlier quarantine, 10 from the quarantine in Tamale, and those we had from the enhanced tracing. That is the group that we actually went out to look for. We found 1,113, bringing our total to 1,671. Currently, about 1,461 are well or no symptoms and are responding very well to treatment. We have about 6 who are moderately to critically ill, 2 at UGMC, 3 in Ghana East, and 1 in Kolebu as we speak today. All the other parts of the country, we do not have any critical cases there. For recoveries, we have recorded 188 of all these people have recovered. And we are hoping that there are more waiting for discharge, awaiting their second test to be discharged. On the areas of those who are positive and are not in facility, we have about 237 currently in isolation centers across the country. About 174 are in Accra, I would say, are in some border between Central Region and Greater Accra. None of them are from Central Region, the rest are all from Greater Accra. We have 50 in Eastern Region, 9 quarantine in Kumasi, and we still have 5 in isolation in Tamale. When it comes to the case counts in the regions, as now we have 8 cases in our west. The number of cases in our east has increased to 18, and they are all contacts of the earlier cases that were described. Northern region has 13 cases. About 10 of them are all from the quarantine that was earlier identified. OT has 17 cases. About 13 of them were also from the quarantine of people who were running past.
Moving on to the Central Region, the Brahmine Senior High School has been embarked as an isolation center for COVID-19 should the district record any victim or victims of COVID-19 from other regions are sent there for quarantine. The youth of Ibradanko on 17th of April 2020 took to the streets and burnt ties to drum home their displeasure with the assembly to select the secondary schools as an isolation center, adding that the possibility of contracting the disease in the community will be easier if the school is selected as an isolation center. They laid claims that the chief was not consulted before the decision was taken, stressing that the assembly wanted to secretly do without the knowledge of the traditional authorities of the community. Adoatv Central Regional Correspondent who spoke with Nana Asukwadri II, Omahini of Ibradanko, on the matter said he had information that the assembly has consented to the use of the girls' dormitory for an isolation center. The district chief executive of the municipality, Honorable Abahagan, was called for a phone-in interview to find out if the assembly did not consult the chief of the community and his elders, but she was fractious and hung up the phone, ending her statement with, We won't use the place and you can take it up wherever you want to. Several attempts to speak to some of the youth have proved futile.
Nananom yɛtena ase dwene ho no hyehyɛ a yɛde to akwam ne sɛ yɛde yɛni adi dwumadi na akyi to the extent abodu nka wohwɛ abrase buka mankasa na the whole Ghana hene a metimi block me man sɛ me ma obiara nyɛ sport no nton nsa wa ha because of ɔmanpanyin hyehyɛ papa odi gu akwam no Mr. Paul Sport sɛ abodu nka sport bia na bisi tan bia bewura ho bia abon sɛ nsuo hɔ samna hɔ bibia hɔ de woro yɛnsa measure sam de gu akwam no sɛ mempɛ sɛ obiara bɛtɔn glass baako entimi sɛ bi nipa bɛ 50 nti abodu nka sport bia bewura bia no yɛnton nsa hɔ we nyina yɛ measure sam de gu akwam a abodu nka kuro yi oba ha nwumra sport bia wɔ ha bia yɛ monyom yɛ nya hwe wo de obo ne sɛ wo tɔn wɔn nsa na mum me de me de sɛ de am de tɔn mampanyina nyina anim sɛ ɔmonkɔ back to drawing board na ɔmondwene nneɛma bi ho ɛfa no center no person de secondary school ne yɛ no na school ko gye ne mpanyifo de yɛ gye tuma yɛ de eyeyi na dawro ma sɛ ɔmampanyi betie mi pa na so betie ne yɛ a ɔmo san kɔ back to drawing board na ɔmo kɔdwene ho bi na ɔmo nkra containers kɔ hɔ abo bebre sisi wɔnom ɔmo nkra containers ne bi na ɔmo chama hospital bia nya sa containers 2222 anase 44 kra no camp ayi bia benya ɛbaboa hospital bia benya ɛbaboa ma yetimi yama security ne doctors ne atena baako na patient na so friday ada baako se empampo ni hɔ a yɛmfa student form yɛ de entoto na obia wo obia ya kampo ɔmo bia no ɔmo nyina betima atena na bibia medical no family na asko ko the second abodi said the mom no na say nyina na motene kasa be kasa fa association center fa ben le beto so dey ba sam titi ne tete nyina say me chama de nyina me see na o timi ne mo se mo hwe se de na say nyina na mo hwe abodu pa se empene asa ne nyina ne mpanyifo no na mo mutu ye efa saa dwumadi no mama nananom ana na abonpon nananom aye wo kuro ma ya so ante ene na ma yetu saa na mo na mo nye se wafaye bi ana se yetan aban ne nti na ye saa da bi na mo proper measures na education na koso ntina ma saa ye ni na koso abodu kwa kuro bi a ye de se capital sa wa wo hwe de se capital na wo hwe se de ye pan ne ne ma nyina city a ene nyina ka ho ya wo a ma awoni pa mo na anya ye no because yeti kuro yi mu na se amampanyini eche o se ye ofros ye nya bi ya ka se amampanyini se o ye wi o ye factory ye nya bi ade bi amampanyini che bia no ye nsanka bi nti se basa na ye ya na se yeti wa na se owuo bai de a wo de breme de a se ye basa na ipanyini na ebugofu eni tina ma ye bufu ya ye so ye hye tai ne ade no nananom ye ba be won po de frame se nana be hwe ukuro ne jadem because ye amanfo o hye tai bi shi bia bi ye wi abodu nka ya oye ka ha de se capital so impuntu pa di impuntu MPP ba oye bi NDC ba oye bi se be se na nado aba na nado ba ha no so no tama me fo no ba ha na wo hye bo ana omo gbo nto ano omampanya kufa do ba kuru ma be hye ye bo se nyankopon ye na adom na se ye to aba na ma no na se nyankopon ye adom na se abro ifuma kwa no ba ye omampanyina obehwe se obama ye one district one factory bi nye obama ye ba ko ha since amampanyin enyi ni onsi kuru mu hada 4 years ni ye hu amampanyin ho popo ye kura sengina bia wa ha sei nti yesre no na dawro ma no bo hye o hye abodu nkwaman no ede na nani na asko kogini ne mpanyifo ye kase na dawro ma bo hye o hye no medi so pepe anya sa 2020 abodu nkwade ye nto aba bia mo bia mamo yoni bia mba ha because NDC ba ye bi MPP ba so ye bi nti ye de yasem tie nyina ne se 2020 aka batu obire se ye hu se contractor bia na ma ye kwan ye hu se nursing training bi ba ha ye hu se company bi aba krom ha ye hu se ye nya impuntu ma even market impu abrase kwa market abodu kwa ye ni market ye wasa ye asase ato so mampanyi mefa no ye market ma ye ya twena ye twena omu fi ye koka ye tweka ta akra no mato atwene je be so mampanyi se $1 million na so chama constituency bia no na dawro ma.
In the field of business, the country's already struggling stock market has not been spared by the impact of the deadly coronavirus pandemic, as a report by Databank. Research shows that significant value has been wiped off the market after the first case was recorded in March. The report, which analyzes the economy for the first quarter, showed that the market saw its lowest turnover in March with a contribution of 14.8% compared to 56.5% recorded in January and 28.6% in February this 2020. Out of the 33 counters traded within the first quarter, only 8 recorded price appreciations while 13 made losses. Unilever led the decliners on the main board, going down by 14.76%. The banking sector, which is the most actively traded sector on the bourse, was not spared the waves of pandemic. Ecobank Ghana recorded worst performance in the sector, shedding off 14.71% of its capitalization during the quarter. The local bourse also generated 621.9 million in turnover for 2019 compared to 558.2 million Ghana cedis the previous year. And doing some entertainment after successful launch of the #MyFaceMask challenge by Adoatv, social media team on Hot Vibes, the biggest entertainment musical request show in Ghana and beyond last Friday. The participation has been awesome thanks to our followers on social media. The trend of face masks is still on. Therefore, don't be left out in this rewarding social media challenge by just posting a picture of you wearing a face mask, then #Adoatv with #MyFaceMask challenge.
Highly spiritual.
Yeah. It's your boy Queen, oh my God. I call my baby 100 times today. Oh, she never pick up. I send a message 1,000 times today. Now she know my me, cause you're mad at me. Is it too late now to say I'm sorry? Yeah, cause I miss her more than just your body. Yeah. Me a gals no alikoto. Kami bubo bi tintinto. Samra no de sisi me so. Maria maya kwadonto. Me a gals no alikoto. Kami bubo bi tintinto. Samra no de sisi me so. Maria maya kwadonto. I don't wanna cause you pain, no. Yeah, I just wanna make you happy. Darling, do you know how lucky I am? Cause all I want is you, babe. All I want is you, yeah. From so nippon into see about her, baby, naturally have you. The man come get me home, baby, see about her.
That's how we wrap up on AM News, a recap of the headlines. Be generous, you will be dealt with if you exploit tenant. Housing Minister warns landlords. COVID-19 updates, Ghana's total count rises. Don't forget the news was proudly sponsored by Asatek Roofing Sheets and Cookware. Asatek, shortening you for life. Migo purified drinking water. Migo, your preferred way of staying hydrated, as well as Blue City ties and accessories. My name is Na Otin Krama Ankra. We'll be back at 2:30 with more stories. Next is AM Ghana with Anastasia Badu and Reginald Robertson. Have a good morning and enjoy the rest of our shows.